the stories feed your soul. Hear the echoes, find the patterns, every truth, each hidden role. From the bench to the whispers, where the gavel takes its toll. There's a rhythm in the verdict, echoes from the cubby hole. Echoes, echoes from the cubby hole, where justice swings and stories unfold. Echoes, echoes, feed your soul. We're talking truth from the cubby hole.
Welcome everyone back to your favorite cubbyhole on the internet. It is New Year's Eve, or at least it still is here where I live. I hope you're having a great day, everybody. Those of you joining us live, Happy New Year's Eve. Everyone joining on replay crew, Happy New Year's Day, or whenever you may happen to watch this. Happy New Year's to you. Hopefully it's been a somewhat productive and or relaxing week for you as it has been for us here. And for all you Jeep Daddy fans, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to disappoint you tonight. He decided that he was going to ring in the new year in a Jeep, on a Jeep trail, out in the middle of nowhere, into the wee hours of the new year. And I went, you know what? I'm a person of creature comfort, so I'm not feeling very interested in leaving the cubbyhole past midnight. So I decided, a little bit late, and perhaps to Jeep Daddy's consternation, rather than being holed up in a Jeep for several hours and God knows where in the dark, we'll have a little New Year's Eve fun. So this is sort of Friday night fuckery without it being Friday night. It's New Year's Eve fuckery. And I just had no time to make a song to that effect. So we're going to cover a bunch of things. I was originally going to do just a short little frivolity. We'll frivolously flout about, okay, that's enough. I was going to do just a little thing on the cease and desist letters, of which Justice for Clayton Instagram recently reminded me of, and I went, oh, it's been a while since we've talked about those. Let's do a little recap. I mean, what better way to reminisce on the years previous than looking backwards and looking at all this silliness from Laura Owens. So we're going to look at some cease and desist letters because they're just hysterical. But first, un momento, por favor. We've got some news. We have news from the cubbyhole. Well, it's not new news. If you pay any attention, and if you don't already subscribe to the Justice for Clayton Reddit, I highly encourage you to do so. And along with that, not only subscribe to that, but subscribe here. Hit those little like and subscribe buttons down that way. We appreciate it. And as a token of your appreciation for what we do here, go ahead and hit those buttons, hit the notification bell, leave a comment or a question, because even if I can't answer the question, there's a really good chance someone else in the community might see it, or maybe will see it, and answer it for you. But I tend to like to talk to people in comments. So there's that. But, engage the algorithms. It helps us out here. We're getting dangerously close, ever so dangerously close. With each episode and each live, we trickle in a few more subscribers. I always want to use the word members. And I know that's a specific thing that people usually pay for on the YouTubes. We're not there yet, but we're dangerously close to being, as Laura Owens would say, and I semi-quote, a fucking monetized YouTube channel. We are dangerously close. And it would just tickle me pink if I could add to the target in my back by becoming a fucking YouTube monetized channel or whatever it was she said. So, there we go. We just want to add to the fun. And hi, chat. How are you doing this evening? Happy NYE, everybody. Happy days. Hope you're all having a safe, enjoyable evening. And I hope not to be on all evening because I don't necessarily want to ring in the new year with each time zone that rolls by. I debated that and I thought, well, it could be fun, but I do want to get to bed. And even though it's going to be noisy, at some point I'm going to fall asleep. So that's just the way it's going to happen. But this is just for some fun. Ring out the old, ring in the new. All right, so let's get to the news, shall we? Let me just hit some buttons. if I hit the right buttons, how about that button? Is that button going to work? No, let's try that button. There we go. I'm confusing it greatly. No, it's just not working. Why aren't we working? Okay, let's just remove some stuff and maybe I can make it work the hard way. There it goes. StreamYard can just be feisty sometimes, but we work with it nonetheless. So for those of you paying attention to all the other sideshows going on with Laura Owens, we have some news that was posted on the Justice for Clayton Reddit, just a couple days ago, I think it was. Is that right? Yeah, well, 7 hours ago. All the totality of it was put together on the JFC Reddit. And the most interesting tidbits, let me just go back to the top here. The most interesting tidbits are about the bankruptcy case, the Chapter 7 case with Laura Owens, which I think might be a little bit ill-gotten. Big Tiff Dog has been covering the bankruptcy stuff around the Owens family, so check out Big Tiff Dog's channel if you haven't already. I haven't checked in with her in a little while. I need to see what's going on there because it might shed some light on some of this, but I think I have a hunch. And I think it might not be gonna, I think it might not gonna be going well. That's great grammar. Good job. I don't think it's gonna go well for Laura because guess what has happened, folks? The trustee, who's the person working with Laura Owens in the bankruptcy court for her Chapter 7. And probably the one who, sends out things like, hey, you haven't sent these forms, and if you don't do this, things aren't going to go well for you. The trustee has filed an application to employ an attorney. And it's also a declaration of an attorney. So let's read this funny little document. Now, I would think if things were going okay, they wouldn't need to bring in an attorney for the trustee and someone who's going to work with the court regarding this case of bankruptcy for one indicted Scottsdale succubus, Laura Michelle Owens. And it seems to be that my new little phrase is maybe going to catch some headway. I don't know. JFC Clayton's Justice, I think it was, on Twitter, said, ooh, I think this is my new favorite term. Yes, I like it. It rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? The succubus of Scottsdale. Well, she is a devil woman, and she's used her devilry powers, if there is such a word. Her devilish charm to ensnare men and trying to get them into relationships with her, in which case she would engage in various forms of fraud and coercion, relationship coercion. That's what, this is fictitious, so this is just I'm being funny. All of the men should have filed relationship coercion cases against Laura Owens. If only there was such laws, right? No. This is about fraud. This is about Laura Owens committing fraud to ensnare men in basic terms. I don't want to get into all the ins and outs of it because we do have some documents to look at tonight. And as you know, anyone who's been around here for a while, I get verbose when it comes to reading documents. I just have to interject all over the place. Let's see, who haven't I said hello to? I'll just bring them up. I should have turned on the, let's just do that. Let's just turn on the comments on the stage, and then maybe I can kind of half pay attention to them. Let's see. So IB saying my company CEO sent out a Happy New Year email with all the best as the signature. Should I worry? Well, I don't know. Let's see. Turdatter Kashani. I'm going to get it wrong. Forgive me. Thanks for joining. We do have some fun here. And when there's a busy chat, we do have a fun chat too. It's going to be a little bit slim pickings tonight. I'm sure everyone is out doing their merriment, NYE activities, getting their champagne and whatever else ready. So more power to them. I'm spending it with you, and bless you all for joining me in this little endeavor this evening. So this document, let's see, is there a date on it? Oh, I'm not sure where it is. Maybe it's at the end. Doesn't matter. In regards to Laura Owens, aka Emily Laura Wilson, in the United States Bankruptcy Court for the District of Arizona, and it's the trustee's application to employ attorney, declaration of attorney. Eric M. Haley, the case trustee for his application to employ an attorney, respectfully alleges, as follows. That sounds serious already. Dun, dun, dun. Where's my button, damn it? I know, the music is deafening. I don't know what to tweak in all the settings. Every time I tweak the Stream Deck and voice mod settings, it just gets fussy and doesn't work. So it's going to be loud. If you don't like being scared out of your wits with the interjection, maybe turn it down a click or two. I think you can still hear me. You know, we do have this very expensive microphone, and it does a pretty good job. The case trustee is duly qualified and acting trustee in this case. To perform the duties of a case trustee requires the services of an attorney for the following purpose. Ooh, Wendy Michelle A says she just texted Tiff. From my personal experience, not a good thing from the trustee bringing in reinforcements. I don't think so either. And I don't say that as someone who practices in law. And I did highlight a couple of words in my quick skimming through this, but I don't think it's going to be good. Oh, dear. Okay. Let's see. To perform the duty services of an attorney for the following purpose: to advise and consult. This is A. To advise and consult with case trustee concerning questions arising in the conduct of the administration of the estate. Ooh, that must be Laura Owens' estate. Well, she doesn't have an estate. And concerning case trustees' rights and remedies with regard to the estate's assets. Ooh. And the claims of secured, preferred, and unsecured creditors and other parties in interest. So we have questions about that list of people that we may or may not own money to, or places we may or may not have stashed money that aren't being accounted for. The trustee hired a lawyer. It's wild. Yes, it is. See, this case, folks, never fails to disappoint. And congratulations for not ever getting ensnared by Laura Owens. My flag blows the wrong way for Laura Owens. So she couldn't even entice me for anything, let alone all of her whims and wiles and whatever the hell it is that she seems to have attracted these men on the first case. So she's, as they say, shit out of luck here. That's just too bad. You know, I suppose, not to digress further, but I will, as I want to do. Should I become a quote-unquote fucking monetized YouTube channel, she may try and ensnare me with something. But as I've said before, and I'll continue to say it until I just get tired of saying it or something interesting happens, don't poke that bear, to use Mike Maricini phrase. There are people waiting to growl back at you, and they cost a lot of money in retainer fees. So there's that. Don't be stupid. You know, I should say that to my detractors. I should say that to my detractors who've done such stupid things that I could probably run myself into the poorhouse prosecuting them, but probably I think I've got a pretty good case based on some of my consultation. Okay, don't make this about me. This is about Laura Owens. See, I just keep digressing into current activities, and it's a distraction. I can't help it. It's not at the front of my head, but it's, a couple filing shelves back, and every time I think about something else, I just kind of drift further back into my head of all the things going on in my real life and other crazy people that aren't faking pregnancies with me, but are trying to do other things to and for and about me, and trying to harm all sorts of things in my case. But we're dealing with it. Oh, let's see. Okay, the creditors. Okay, this is B. Next one. See, I just lose my spot too. To appear for, prosecute, defend, and represent case trustees' interests in suits arising in or related to this case. So this is also a little bit of a preemptive move, if I understand it correctly, that an attorney is going to do some legal work involving this case as far as the trustee is concerned. So they might be anticipating that Laura Owens is going to have a shit fit and start engaging in, what's the term, collateral litigation regarding the bankruptcy, or other collateral litigation may come about as a result of her trying to file bankruptcy and it not necessarily going well. So there's lots of good reasons this could be happening. Item C, to investigate and prosecute preference and other actions arising under the case trustee's avoiding powers. Ooh, I'd have to look that up. What is avoiding powers? Where's our legal minds in the chat? Oh my goodness. Wendy Michelle says, I just worked for a company that the creditors forced the company into bankruptcy. Messy business. Yes. I was a bill collector in my past. I know some stuff. Tough job. I always assumed bankruptcy trustees were required to be lawyers. That's how little I know. I sort of thought the same thing. because early on, as I was at the front end of talking about Laura Owens, I was covering a case between an employee of a podcast. Her name was Jennifer Camp. She was hired by a podcaster in Utah who does post-Mormon content. His name is John DeLynn. There's a whole foundation that runs the nonprofit business. She had made a bunch of allegations. Those allegations didn't go anywhere. They turned into her publishing and producing defamatory content on her YouTube channel, which then her original employer sued her for defamation and essentially won. And as she was, as a judgment was about to be entered, it was the next hearing. She starts selling off assets or something to that effect. She gets rid of the house. She divorces her husband, and then she flees the state and tries to file bankruptcy in another state. So I had a hunch, and I think I may have said this. I would have to go back a year and a half into my old videos and see if I was saying that Laura Owens was actually going to commit bankruptcy. I probably did. And that's probably what originally enticed me into the Laura Owens case. I started seeing some of the same crazy woman behavior from one case I was covering a little bit of, and then seeing all of this hubbub happening. I don't watch Bachelor, but boy, I was watching enough content creators that were starting to cover the initial part of Laura Owens. I went, what the hell is this? So, there's something to be said about crazy ladies doing crazy things and being stupid and being absolutely stupid. Crime never pays, right? That's what the law tells us. But they just publicize their crime everywhere. And it's just astonishing. Laura Owens tried to be anonymous, but it didn't last long because she's such a narcissist. So, it's fascinating. It's fascinating how some of these, well, I'm going to call it a psychosis of sorts. Laura Knighty might disagree with me on that front. Obviously, Laura Owens has some screws loose, clearly. Obviously, the degree of which those are loose, we don't know. And exactly what they're labeled or diagnosed as, we don't know that either, but I have some hunches. I'm sure Lauren does as well. But, Laura Owens is not insane. She knows she's doing right from wrong and wrong from right. Well, more wrong than right. And she's aware. She's aware, and that's why this is going to be, it's just going to be an epic bloodbath by the time all of the shit is done hitting the fan and it's done being blasted around everywhere. And the bankruptcy is just the latest entry in this saga, this never-ending saga of insanity of Laura Owens and the Owens family. Item D in this document: to assist in the preparation of such pleadings, motions, notices, and orders as are required for the orderly administration of the case, and to consult with and advise case trustee in connection with the operation of or the termination of the operation of the business of the debtor. Ooh, terminations of businesses of the debtor, or just maybe it's this business of the bankruptcy case. Let's see. Oh gosh, chat, you're just lovely. All kinds of insightful comments. It's best to move into bankruptcy with an attorney. Yeah. Well, Laura Owens, Laura, not Lauren, Laura or Owens has to, feign indigency and pretend that, there's no money, even though apparently she's suckling off of, her parents. And we could digress a little further, but I'll do that momentarily about the direction of fundings with the Ron Owens Griftathon. Hell with it. I'll just digress now. And maybe I'll bring that up if I can find it quickly in a second. There has been some digging into the GoFundMe, and there has been allegedly, I will use the phrase or term, there has allegedly been confirmation that the money is going into a bank account owned by Ron Owens. But then I ask the following questions. Who else has access to that bank account other than Ron Owens? I would bet dollars to donuts Jan Blackett does. Laura Michelle Owens may or may not have access to that account. But again, it's evidence to me that Mama Owens is the accomplice, even if she has not so yet been named by the state. It's my belief that Jan Black, Elizabeth Ann Naylor Owens is the accomplice, because there has to be a financial pass-through somewhere for Laura to be, running credit cards to create websites called justiceforlaura.com, where we post our little Medium blogs, trying to relitigate the case in the court of public opinion and make a bunch of lies about why the court system is unfairly prosecuting Laura Owens. We've talked about those. If you want to learn more about those articles that Laura has posted on her page, we didn't cover all of them. I think I'm kind of over them at this point. There's 1 or 2 or 3 left. I forget where we left off. I've done 2 episodes worth, covering and laughing and mocking the stupid postings of a volunteer for Justice for Laura, which we believe on all certainty and at least familiarity with working with this case for a while, that it is, in fact, Laura Michelle Owens herself. Not only hosting that page, but posting the content thereon. Okay, item number 4. For the foregoing reasons and all other necessary and proper purposes, case trustee desires to retain generally the law firm of Natch, Rogers, Hilkert, and Santilli, attorney or the firm, as counsel for case trustee. Ooh. Because attorney practices in bankruptcy, corporate reorganization, trustee and debt creditor matters, and because of its experience in those fields, case trustee feels that said law firm is well qualified to render the foregoing services. So they expect more activity on this case. Also not a good sign. Not a good sign for Laura. Number 6, based upon the declaration attached here to, case trustee believes that said law firm and its members and associates do not hold or represent any interest adverse to that of your case trustee or the debtor or the estate, and that said law firm is a disinterested entity within the meaning of USC, etc. The case trustee is informed that the normal billing rates of said law firm at this time are as follows. Wow. $305 to $575 an hour for attorneys and $35 to $230 for paralegals. Woo! I'm in the wrong line of work, folks. Oh my God. Case trustee is informed that the firm does, from time to time, adjust its billing rates to reflect changes in attorney experience, adjust for inflation, and in light of prevailing billing rates industry-wide. Any changes in rates will be set forth in any application for compensation. It is contemplated that attorney will seek compensation based upon normal and usual hourly billing rates. It is further contemplated that attorneys will seek interim compensation during the case as permitted by USC, etc. The case trustee brought this case to attorney on the date indicated hereinafter. So we should get a date. And as a result, and in order to expeditiously handle the issues, attorney immediately commenced work on the file. They are already at work. Oh, squee. Attorney routinely copies the file and has an application to employ prepared for filing in due course. Therefore, case trustee seeks approval from the court to employ the firm from the date of such initial consultation. Wherefore, case trustee prays as follows for authority to employ attorney as of the date of this application as attorneys to render services in the areas described above with compensation to be paid as an administrative expense in such amounts as this court may hereinafter determine, and B, for such other and further relief as this court deems just and proper. The usual things, Eric Haley, trustee, case trustee, first class mail debtor, pro se, blah, 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 blah. Oh, and that's dated the 30th of December. That was yesterday, folks. Fresh off the presses. Ooh, the declaration of Stuart B. Rogers. I wonder if this is the attorney. I think it is. Okay, quick check in with chat. How you doing, chat? Let's see. There's several. Yes, there's lots of different schedules for. Oh boy, isn't that the truth? There's so many flavors of bankruptcy. It's a prophylactic attorney. Is that like co-counsel? Or prophylactic attorney. You know, that deserves one of these, given that it's Laura Owens. Yes, tonsil twins and prophylactics, indeed. Jen Camp, I know the case well. Ooh, yes. Do tell me more, or go back and check out my videos on that. You'd have to scroll quite a ways down the list. But I do talk about Jen Camp a couple clicks or two. I forget how many I did. By the time I was getting on that one, Laura Owens was really hitting prime time, and I was waiting for a couple things to happen, that being the trial with Clayton Echard, because I wanted to be able to definitively call Laura Owens a fraud, as was determined as a matter of law in the family court over Owens v. Echard. So I was waiting for some things to happen. Otherwise, I might have jumped in a little sooner. But golly, I think I missed some trauma by not jumping in on things right away. Camp should be in jail. She committed a lot of fraud with that fake divorce and quick sale of the house and then filed a fake bankruptcy. Yes, she sure did. But boy, wasn't it funny that Jen Camp settled for, I think it was a 1 point something million, 1.5 plus, as I recall, towards John DeLynn and the Open Stories Foundation. It was several $100,000s of defamation settlement for John DeLynn and I think pushing $1 million for the Open Stories Foundation. So total it was 1 point something, as memory serves. But that's after not having thought about it for nearly a year, or maybe over a year. Golly, when did I do that? Okay, it's been a while. Let's see. Wouldn't surprise me if the trustee was already fed up with her bugging him or her and they filed to bring in someone to pawn her off to. God, I pity the poor attorney that has to deal with Laura Owens. You know darn well, given what we have learned and have been told by people who made public comments about their experience litigating against Laura Owens in Owens v. Maricini, the DVRO case in San Francisco. She's quite a nasty bitch in just how she likes to file stuff and all the schemes and machinations, pick your pronunciation depending on which side of the continent you live on, that she was engaging in. The ADA stuff. Oh, I'm going to die if I don't get this surgery and I can't come to court to make my case. And if you don't just let me have a permanent DVRO, you're denying my rights. I mean, it's just laughable. Oh, it's just all laughable. Oh, let's see. Been watching your camp vids. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you so much for that. Hopefully you enjoyed them. I think we're a little bit more exciting now than we used to be in those days. I was being careful when I got started. You know, you wanna catch the ropes. And I've been listening to Law Tubes for quite a good long while and picking up some things from some of my favorite people like the amazing Megan Fox and That Umbrella Guy. And of course, Dave Neal and Lauren and Omar and Rachel Juarez and Nick Starro and who else? Who am I forgetting? Ian Runkle and even MG Law. You know, things you can say and things you probably shouldn't say. It's always an education. So I took my time diving into the fray. Okay, the declaration of Stuart B. Rogers. I, Stuart B. Rogers, declare. We like declarations, don't we? A, I am attorney duly admitted to practice before all courts of the state of Arizona, as well as this court and the Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit. Ooh, so we've got very experienced attorneying going on here, and someone who's got appearances in other courts. That could be useful. B, I am a member of Natch, Rogers, Hilkert, and Santilli, NRHS, the law firm that case trustee is seeking to employ generally by the application to which this declaration is attached. I'm a certified specialist in the practice of bankruptcy law. Ooh, that's insightful. We're not just a general. We're specialized. Specialized practice, as so many attorneys are. Unlike David Gingras, who seems to think, well, at least in my opinion, he seems to think that he can practice and do anything, including trying to get writs of certiorari, is that the word, to the United States Supreme Court, because Laura Owens didn't get her way. Okay. Oh, the members and non-members, the members and non-member attorneys employed by the NRHS have extensive experience in bankruptcy, insolvency, corporate reorganization, and debtor-creditor law. NRHS is well qualified to represent case trustee generally herein, and is willing to accept employment on the basis set forth in the annexed application. NRHS and its members and non-member attorneys do not hold any interest or connections to this estate, adverse or otherwise, or with the debtor, creditors, or any other party in interest. Their respective attorneys and accountants, the case trustee, or any person employed in the office of the United States trustee, and NRHS is a disinterested entity as defined in 11 U.S.C., etc. Stuart B. Rogers is the owner of Phoenix Noticing Services, LLC, DBA Bankruptcy Noticing Services, which company might be requested by the trustee to do for printing and mailing. Bankruptcy Noticing Services provides printing and mailing to the trustee for those items that used to be mailed out by BNC on behalf of the trustees, primarily the trustees' notice of final reports, which are outside of normal legal services and beyond the scope of counsel. Oh, interesting. So there's a bit of specialization going on here. The costs rates charged are competitive with similar services and are provided as an accommodation to the trustees who must accommodate a large volume of mailings. It is unknown if the trustee will utilize bankruptcy noticing services at this time, but the disclosure is made for information purposes only. Neither the undersigned nor NRHS have shared or agreed to share compensation in this case with anyone except as professional fees are normally divided among members of Natch, Rogers, Hilkert, and Santilli. And I declare that under penalty of perjury, etc., 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 December 30th by Stuart B. Rogers. Very, very interesting developments. That the legal one-upsmanship on the case of the trustee, probably because, well, they're busy, and I think, as some of you in chat have said, are tired of this bullshit from Laura Owens, that we're bringing in reinforcements to deal with perhaps the papering of the court with nonsense. What could it be? The trustee will kick this to the curb if this is nonsense. Oh, yes. We know all too well, Wendy Michelle. Yes, thank you for that. The parents, Owens, is going to get tossed. Yes. I think I'm just waiting for that to appear on the docket, and then I'll do a little ding-dong, the bankruptcy is dead dance. Ding-dong, the bankruptcy is dead. There's something called piecing the corporate veil. Piercing the corporate veil, perhaps? Hi, Sunshine. I can't stay long. Thumbs up. Thank you so much, sub people. We need to support our allies in the fight against Laura's shenanigans. Thank you so much for that, Sunshine, and Happy New Year's to you. Commingling funds is not going to work. No, neither is what was the phrase that Tiff used? Offloading assets to other family members. When Laura, transferred interest of the Lizmax LLC over to Mommy Dearest. We'll talk about that next, because we have developments there. If you haven't heard about those, I have to drop all. We'll do a rewatch cruise. See you at the next live. Thanks so much, IB, for joining us. Happy New Year's to you and yours. So let's switch to the other thing. And comes now the response from the court. The court order authorizing case trustee to employ the attorney. Isn't this great? Oh, I love it. This court, having considered case trustee's application to employ attorney and the declaration in support thereof, and it appearing that the law firm of NRHS, its members and associates, is a disinterested party, and that the employment of said law firm, generally by the case trustee, is in the best interest of the estate, of this estate. It's frightening. It's maybe it's sad that this is considered the estate of Laura Owens. A car that we're not really sure who exactly owns it and whose name it's in and all that other stuff. It sounds like there's still money owed on it. So I suppose technically it's the bank's car, and the pile of clothes and horse stuff in the casita and in the barn. It's just pathetic. Anyhow, it is hereby ordered that Eric M. Haley, case trustee herein, is authorized to employ the law firm of NRHS, generally as attorneys for the case trustee of its state, with compensation amounts, blah, 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 blah. It is further ordered, the court saying yes. It is further ordered that such employment shall be effective as of the date the application was filed with the court. Oh, see? How things move quickly when they need to. Oh, my lordy. The trustee is not going to roll over with this nonsense. No. And I think Wendy Michelle, this is why we have another attorney entering the scene. It turns into almost like co-counsel, but can you imagine being working for the bankruptcy court and having to deal with whatever's going on behind the scenes? And I'm fairly certain, just based on experience and the reportings of other friends in this space, that there's a lot of bullshit back and forth happening. We haven't seen anything from Laura Owens hit the docket necessarily, but that doesn't mean there isn't ex parte stuff being... That was her thing. She likes sending ex parte stuff to judges to try and get her way. There could be all kinds of stuff going on, and it just hasn't hit the docket. Or there may not be much going on, and they're just getting ready to kick it. Oh, if any assets are gone. Oh, okay. Yes. All right. Very good. So there's that. So speaking of assets, let's go here. This comes to us from the Justice for Clayton Reddit. Our good friends at the JFC Reddit are always on top of things. It's a great hub to kind of stay abreast, shall we say, of all the things going on in the Laura Owens world, the universe of nonsense of Laura Owens. And we've learned this was also from 7 hours ago, according to the JFC Time. Liz Max Investments, LLC, a Laura Owens and Elizabeth Naylor company, forfeits their Airbnb property. Oh, that's the wrong one. Damn it, I can never remember which one of the horns is which. I should label them properly so I remember. Wah, wah, wah. Let's just read a little bit of this, and then we'll get on to the other fun stuff for the evening. Liz Max Investments, LLC, is a Laura Owens and Elizabeth Naylor / Jan Black company. I don't know why we use pseudonyms like that. I think it's to try and skirt certain activities. It was formed on May 9, 2023, just a couple of weeks before Laura and Clayton first met. And I saw down in the chat further below, let's see, I don't know if I could find it now because it's not easy to highlight, that someone said Clayton got his realty license and hung out his shingle, so to speak, in April of that same year. So, but a month after Clayton going into real estate and entering the fray as a business professional, Liz Max Investments, LLC, was formed that next month. Or within 30 days or less, perhaps. Interesting. Many people have opined, and I agree with the presentation, that Laura was targeting Clayton. And she did all kinds of things. Allegedly, prior to this, Laura even obtained her, her fitness instructor's, I'm trying to think of the words, the fitness instructor's certificate or something like that. We know she lives at Barry's Boot Camp. She's spotted there practically every day by other people who are aware of who she is. And they try and avoid her like the plague. I don't blame them. Liz Max entered into a contract for sale agreement with Feel Home Properties to purchase an Airbnb property in Maricopa County, Arizona, ostensibly not very far from the Owens compound and ranch. Pioneer Title Agency was responsible for handling the payments under that agreement. Liz Max stopped making the required payments. The contract clearly stated the payment deadlines mattered, and those deadlines were never waived or extended. Under both Arizona law and the contract, Liz Max was given time to catch up or fix the default, but that time expired. Because of this, a formal notice of election to forfeit was recorded on December 2, 2025, and mailed to Liz Max and anyone else who might have had an interest in the property. Liz Max did not make the required payment, did not redeem the property, and did not cure the default after receiving notice. As of December 2023, 2025 at 5 p.m., there's all these numbers. Liz Max Investments and its principals no longer have any rights to the property. The Airbnb has reverted back to the seller under the terms of the agreement for sale. Thanks to whomever got that document. And I'll bet here's the document right here. The affidavit of completion of forfeiture. So it's done, folks. There is no longer a Laura Owens Airbnb property. There's no longer a Liz Max BNB property. They are shit out of luck. There you go. Here's the document. I'm not going to read this document because it's just more legalese. And aren't we bored of that already? Oh, state of New Jersey, county of Middlesex is... okay, completion of forfeiture. Okay, Feel Home Properties, I guess, is in New Jersey. Interesting. Interesting indeed. All right, so no more second house for Laura to hole herself up in. that is gone. And I hope the owners have changed the locks and so on and so forth, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right. Now, I've got to do some shuffling of screenage. Shuffling of screenage it is. So we're going to do some... Oh, no, before I do that, let's just check in. See, I'm in finance and an MBA too. Oh, bless you, Wendy Michelle, for that. Hopefully you and Tiff have had some conversations on her channel about all this stuff. I would be thrilled to get some people on this channel just to talk about this and platform them further. Because I'll admit it, bankruptcy stuff, I get crumbs like any other layman. But all the ins and outs of it are just, they're heavy for me. Hi, Jen the Couch Fairy. Once you catch up to modern time, we'll wave. Thanks for being with us this evening. Hi, Batty McBatface. Good evening to you. Happy New Year. Okay, we've got to do some screen shuffling so I can bring up the next fun stuff. So hold on for just hold, please. But we've got a transitionary piece of music. Okie dokie. Let's, oh golly, boy, StreamYard is just having a problem today. That's got to go away. Okay. All right. Here we are. The headliner for this evening, shall we say. I wanted to do just a little way back episode because, you know, what better time to sing Auld Lang Syne and, you know, should auld acquaintance be forgot? Should auld cease and desist sent out by Laura Owens be forgot? No, we're not going to forget them. Melissa Jade's had great fun going into the Wayback Machine of her own and looking at, gosh, she's spent a lot of time going through all of the conversations, and bless that woman for all of her recovering of all the old stuff. When Justice for Clayton official posted this the other day, I think it was 2 days ago, or was it yesterday? It could have just been yesterday. I could be wrong. Whenever it was on the Instagram. That's why I've linked it. If you want regular updates, JFC official on Instagram posts regularly, if not daily, if not multiple times a day, on their Instagram page. And this popped up for me, and I went, you know what? Let's have a stroll down memory lane, because you know. We like to be reminded of where things have gone. And I'm not saying I feel left out, not having received stupid letters like this. I think Law Talk with Mike, which is where I stumbled across this case when Dave Neal appeared on Mike's channel, and that sort of lured me in a little over 2 years ago. Slowly but surely it lured me in. And Mike shares a story, and you can go to his page and look at this. I went back a few months ago and listened to it again and went, oh yeah, this crazy woman named Laura Owens sent me this goofy email after having Dave Neal on. And at one point he touches on parts of that email and says, no, it doesn't. You know, the stupid thing to do is to be a stupid, conniving succubus of Scottsdale. Sending a lawyer like Mike Gravlin, who practices, if I'm not mistaken, in personal injury and that kind of thing. And it seems like he's got a nice office somewhere in Chicago, maybe downtown even, I'm not sure. Some of the views out his windows before he started using lots of background screens. It looks like he's doing pretty well for himself. He's got assistants. He's got other people in his practice, I gather. The stupid thing to do is to start threatening an attorney with your stupid emails that aren't, shall we say, based in law or fact, to use a quote from the opinion of an appellate court with Laura Owens. So, you know, I just wanted to have a little fun going back down memory lane and looking at some of the stupid things Laura Owens did to threaten people. It's wild. It's wild. If you don't know these things, if you haven't heard them, they've kind of been scattered here and there. I'm not sure if there's anyone that's brought them all together, and there may be some more. I don't think this is all of them. Quite frankly, I think there's a few more lingering out there. These were the ones that JFC Official on Instagram posted. I captured them. The resolution is not perfect, so bear with me as I tried to read this super embiggened. It just makes the fuzzy letters even fuzzier, but it's at least legible enough to get the gist. So we're going to read some old stuff. Happy New Year to you, Sarah L. 5707. Yes, hi, everybody. Happy New Year. And Batty says, I love the Wayback Machine. I like to live in the past. Well, you know, it's good introspection, isn't it? How can we learn and grow if we don't reflect a little bit on the past? And how can we avoid things for the future if we don't ruminate on the past? So, you know. Oh, someone's in Australia for the holidays. Oh, how lovely is that? That's marvelous. And yes, Wendy Michelle, I'm glad you and Tiff have chatted. Should you two happen to do stuff together, that would be even more exciting. Although I would imagine Tiff does okay, but you know, the more eyes on the subject, why not? Ahoy, Bruce! Happy New Year's Eve or New Year's. Let's see. No, it's not quite there for you yet. Happy New Year's Eve to you, sir. You and yours in the cheese fields. So here we go. This particular cease and desist from one Scottsdale succubus, Laura Michelle Owens, was sent to multiple anonymous Bachelor Reddit users. And apparently the person who received this one, I guess, is named Strict Schedule 2441. This is great. This is back when Laura Owens was still trying to go by the quote-unquote anonymous woman. Yes, you know, she wanted so desperately not to have her name attached to all of her, to put it in the words of the state of Arizona, fraudulent schemes and artifices, that she tried to go anonymously until, you know, there was just no chance for her to do so. That, and I think her narcissism got the better of her. She wanted to be attached, at least socially, to Clayton Echard and whatever fame his bachelor stardom gave him. So Laura Owens went from being the anonymous woman to not so anonymous. And you'll remember, those of you who followed Dave Neal for a while, he wasn't using her name, which, well, bless him for that, I suppose. He was calling her Jane Doe. This is the days of Jane Doe. But she's not anonymous anymore. So we're grateful for progress, aren't we? And here's the text of this threat from the person formerly known as the anonymous woman, now known as the succubus of Scottsdale, Laura Owens. Hi, this is the anonymous woman. I just wanted to kindly ask you, to stop spreading false information before I have my attorney send a cease and desist. You know, here's the thing about cease and desists. And again, I don't practice in any sort of practice like law. I say this completely as a layman. Most attorneys worth their salt, well, okay, they might humor you if they're your personal attorney and you keep them on retainer. They'll slap a little letter together and fire it off in the direction of somebody if there's good cause for doing so. Most attorneys won't do that. Most attorneys won't do that because why? Cease and desist letters have no legal teeth. They have, again, no basis in law or fact. They're just a request to try and get somebody to stop doing what they're doing. You know, it could be a generous gesture if there is substantive evidence that the person who may receive a C&D letter is doing something that could either get them a civil liability or criminal liability. So, you know, as in the Hales case, Jeremy, via his attorney, I think it was Randy Shockett for some of those early things, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. There could have been others. Maybe somebody in Ohio did send some cease and desist to people like Lynette Michelle Preston before he decided to sue her. And as those of you who follow the case, the Hales case know, there's like 10 federal cases running concurrently. And it hurts my head. It gives me migraines. thinking about following 10 cases. You know, this stuff with Laura Owens and the tangents, the bankruptcy stuff and whatever happens with mom and dad and whoever else, David Gingras included, I suppose. This is enough. I don't want to double my workload. This is plenty. Oh, what's up, everybody? Stranger Things fine. Yes, I heard that. Melissa Jade was talking about that. And I think she was talking about that with you too, Bruce, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, don't fuck with the Reddit, kids. Hi, Ikimbo. Yes, present and accounted for, late, early on time. We don't care. We are just glad you are here with us and sharing some of your New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, depending on your locational equivalent. Ah, yes. Okay, where was I? Laura Owens continues. I have stayed off of Reddit, but my attorney is monitoring and sent me your posts. Yeah, sure. Which attorney? Which one of the dozen attorneys that she had at that time is monitoring? We know factually, because there's evidence of this, that Laura herself has been obsessively and compulsively watching everything she can consume. Yes, she did. Yes, she did, Sunshine 42. Laura found a soulmate in David Gingras. Maybe more than that, but that would be speculation on my part. There are people that believe lots of things about them. I sit somewhere in the middle, I think, as I often do. Greetings, one believe, running behind, just wanted to add legal vices to the list of coverage. Oh, well, thank you for that, too. I didn't know Jeff very directly. I didn't get to see a whole lot of him in his channel before he left us, which was a tragic thing. He seems to have been a very entertaining gentleman in all regards, and his potato pig dogs snoring in the background was certainly a highlight, as was his, he's just, whatever his proclivities in life. I shouldn't laugh, but it's kind of funny because I think Jeff went out the way he wanted to, and I say that as someone who knew very little about him. But what I've seen of his work, which we are blessed to have on the YouTubes, he was fair, he was decent, but he didn't put up with shit either. And I think all the people whose loss of Jeff is greater than mine, certainly. Certainly my heart and feelings go out to them in that loss, because I think it's a year this month of his passing, if I'm not mistaken. So yes, legal vices. There are some others. I know I would leave somebody out. Trying to rattle off lists of names. It's crazy. There's so many people, and there's so many professionals, and there's so many brilliant minds on this case. I'm just a dude with a microphone and a camera, and some clever repartee. And a point of view, but that's about all I've got. It's all these other brilliant people who also give of their time and of their interest, because this is such a crazy case, that we are able to talk about anything of substance at all, other than just saying, oh, well, look at this stupid thing that just got put on the docket, and having no clue what we're talking about. Yes, we can do research. We can do all those other things and spend time with it and kind of chip away at it, but it's so much easier when people who practice law actually chime in on what's going on. They can tell us rather quickly, oh, this is more bullshit from Laura. Oh, it's like, oh, well, there's no legal standing here. They can give us their professional opinion without actually representing somebody. And that's very valuable stuff. Gingras, in the words of Delightful Derek, he can suck my fat one. Yeah, he can suck my fat one too. I won't tell you what. Use your imagination. It's New Year's Eve, everybody. Let's see, I've stayed off the Reddit. My attorney is monitoring and sent me your posts. Yeah, sure. I couldn't help but want to respond. I couldn't help but to ignore some impetus of impulse control that forced me to respond to your posts. Because what is being spread about me is 100% false. I've seen the documents. Yeah, so have we, especially now. And those are 100% false. I know I don't owe you. I know I don't owe your anything. Golly. But here is the email I sent Clayton after seeing what has been spread online. This is confidential. Demanding confidentiality from a Reddit user. That's like demanding confidentiality from me if you post something in my chat or you email it to me. How stupid. Oh my God. How did this woman get so far for so long? How did she do it? Was it just the efforts of parents that delayed the inevitable for so many years? It boggles my mind. She's not as smart as she thinks she is. Let's just say that. However, I would ask that after you read it, you delete what you have posted. After you read what I've manufactured, I want you to delete everything you're posting. Oh my gosh. Clayton is going to need to file a retraction statement. Why? Because he works for a newspaper? Stupid bitch. So there's one. So evidently this was circulated around a number of Reddit users. Okay, now here's a little bit longer one. This one, let's see, is that big enough? Let's make it just a titch bigger. Will it go? Then biggin. Oh, stop it. Clicking on too many buttons. Okay, one more click. Oh, sent to the JFC for JFC Reddit. Okay, let's just call it that. Some of this did get clipped off a little bit here and there at the tops. We'll try and fill in some blanks, shall we? This is to the moderators of r/Justice for Clayton. This communication is a final and non-negotiable cease and desist order. This is our final going out of business sale notification. Emphasizing the severity of your criminal misconduct through the activities on r/Justice for Clayton. Objection, Your Honor. Calls for legal conclusion. I'm trying to think of an objection. And again, as someone who doesn't practice in that branch of work, understand that a subpoena has been issued to Reddit for the release of your identities. I'm going to dox you and drag you through the mud, and I'm subpoenaing Reddit to try and do so. And this is the precursor to imminent, severe legal action. If it were imminent, why wouldn't it be happening already? Or just making or just saber rattling at this point. Rattle that saber, Laura Owens, you succubus, you. Grave criminal conduct and legal violations. Again, calls for legal conclusion. Yes, Batty. Yeah, this is confidential. Bruce has huge... Hey, no telling tales out of school about Bruce, okay? You know, that's for Bruce to talk about. And if Bruce wants to talk about it or not talk about it, that's his prerogative. You know, Bruce has to render consent, okay? We believe in consenting here, but maybe Bruce consents. I don't know. I'll leave that to you guys in the chat. The grave criminal conduct and legal violations. Item A, flagrant doxing and violation of privacy law. Violation of privacy laws. Oh, okay. I got to stifle my laughter. I'm never going to get through any of this. Your deliberate publication of my sensitive personal data that I released on a public platform, including the specific date and location of my upcoming legal deposition, which is probably a matter of public record, is an egregious violation of both state and federal privacy laws. Again, calls for legal conclusion. Such actions constitute illegal doxing, a criminal offense that jeopardizes my safety and privacy. God. You know, it's okay. I won't laugh about some of this, not because it applies, but in the case of doxing, you just shouldn't do it. In most cases, and on many, if not most platforms, it's a violation of TOS, right? If there is information in the public sector, and there's, as you know, those of you who live in the modern era, your private and public information is being traded by all sorts of corporations night and day through both legal and illegal means on the dark web. I mean, all of that stuff exists out there. And if I were a sponsored channel, I would insert some sort of service right here that helps you with your identity. But we don't have that yet, so you're lucky and escape that torture for the time being. Doxing per se, not to try and make this sound like a legal phrase because I don't know of them, doxing in and of itself isn't exactly an illegal thing. And again, this is not legal advice. This is just what I have understood. There would have to be specific laws, and I would imagine they would be by jurisdiction. What doxing entails, what would make it a crime. And I think that would be a case-by-case basis. I don't think there is a federal doxing law that I'm aware of. But again, I am not a practitioner in the legal profession. I'm only speculating. So saying that somebody doxing, especially if you're stupid enough to put your information out there, whether you put it out there or some other service did it for you, that's a matter of debate. So, hanging other people to on the cross to bear for that could be a potential crime in and of itself, in my opinion. This act, this heinous, vicious act, I'm just inserting. This act is a blatant infringement of statutes designed to protect individuals from unauthorized exposure and use of their private information. Don't send public forums drop boxes with your information in it. It's simple. If you're stupid enough to put your information out there in your patient portal login information for people to inspect, so in hopes that they reach the conclusion you want them to, Madam Succubus, that's on you. That's completely on you. Yeah. And if some bot from some 4chan page that happens to have your information plasters that all over the internet, then you have other legal recourse to investigate. Next part, harassment and psychological torture. Objection, speculation. I'm just going to pretend because I want to pretend. I'm going to pretend I'm litigating this. No, I won't. The content you sanctioned, including the circulation of my personal suicide note and police welfare check reports, goes beyond harassment. No, it doesn't. Police reports are public information. They are FOIA. You can FOIA these things. But we're going to pretend everything's private so that we can make threats. Ridiculous. It amounts to... let's see. Suicidal police welfare goes beyond harassment. I should finish this sentence. It amounts to psychological torture and is prosecutable under various criminal statutes. Again, calls for legal conclusion. Your calculated actions have inflicted deep emotional trauma. Something that I can't see at the top of the next column, and cyberstalking. Personal, I'm trying to, let's see, harassment, I'm not sure, defamation of, I'm not sure what it says, something of personal, inflammatory, and cyberstalking, yeah. So we list off a bunch of things that we're going to claim these are criminal actions. These charges, and she's going to start giving sentencing guidelines. I love it. Practicing law without a license. These charges carry significant legal penalties, up to and including imprisonment. Unyielding demand for immediate compliance. Again, another going out of business sale. Non-negotiable dismantling of r/Justice for Clayton. Jesus. She's not good at negotiating, is she? The subreddit must be terminated immediately. Failure to comply will not only aggravate your legal predicament, but will also serve as direct evidence of your continued involvement and endorsement of these criminal acts. No, it doesn't. That's bullshit. Reporting to federal and state criminal justice agencies. What the hell is that? What's a state criminal justice agency? Is that NAMBLA? Beyond the IC3 complaint. And let's see. Where did that go? Did I close that already? IC3. Just for those of you who don't know, IC3 is the Internet Crime Complaint Center. And it is, I'll just bring this up just for a brief second. The Internet Crime Complaint Center, the IC3, is the central hub for reporting cyber-enabled crime. It is run by the FBI, the lead federal agency for investigating crime. So evidently, and it's not surprising to any of us, Laura was probably sending multiple complaints to the IC3 center. The FBI. We know she did because there's body cam footage of her saying she was sending a complaint to the cybercrimes unit. Yeah. In one of those posts with Mama Owens, one of the welfare checks. So we know that she did that. There's nothing to hide there. Okay, back over to this tab. Beyond the IC3 complaint in the right column, your actions are being reported to relevant criminal justice agencies at both federal and state levels. These authorities are expected to thoroughly investigate your criminal... expected by who? You, Laura? To thoroughly investigate your criminal activities and proceed with legal actions. The FBI doesn't do that. They... Jesus. The confusing of investigatorial and prosecutorial branches of the judicial segment of government is extraordinary. How the agencies are expected to thoroughly investigate your criminal activities and proceed with legal actions. I demand the FBI file charges against you. Well, I'm not sure they're directly the ones. I think it might be something else. I think it might be, federal prosecutors, maybe. Again, I don't know anything about practicing law. I'm just taking a guess here. Your actions have constituted a clear, deliberate, and reprehensible violation of the law. Again, calls for legal conclusion. You have willingly engaged in criminal activities. Ooh, accusing people of crime. That's defamation. And that's the thing. Oh, no, finish it, and then I'll digress. You have willingly engaged in criminal activities, causing significant harm and trauma. This cease and desist order represents your final warning to buy at the lowest prices of the year. Buy my horses, buy my merch, rent my Airbnb that I no longer have. Failure to heed this directive will result in the most aggressive legal response available under the law. Yeah, you and what attorney that you can't afford. You fraudulent bitch. 6th of January 2024. So this is only a year ago. Ringing the new year with stuff from a year ago to the Justice for Clayton Reddit. Extraordinary. Okay, that one was to the subreddit. Let's go to this one. This one gets a little bit more personal. This one is to Greg Gillespie's wife, Ashley. And again, this was posted by our dear friends, the Justice for Clayton official on Instagram. Link is in the show notes below. New Year's Eve greetings to our JFC posters. A notice to cease and desist. And of course it said Laura Michelle Owens, I'm sure. And the casita address, Scottsdale, Arizona there's the zip code. And it was dated September 21st, 2023. Regarding false light and invasion of privacy. Oh, already. Objection calling for a legal conclusion before we even get to it. Dear Ms. Ford, I am a well and respected professional. Well, that's debatable. Well respected by whom? Professional according to whom? Mommy dearest? I'm a well-respected professional who has spent my life building a positive reputation. Yeah, right. Nevertheless, I have been informed that you have been maliciously spreading information that is damaging to my personal and professional character. Under the laws... Oh, here we go again. We're going to pretend we can practice law. Under the laws in the state of Arizona, a false light cause of action may arise when something untrue has been published about an individual, or when the publication of true information creates a false implication about the individual. And then we actually cite some case law, ostensibly. I'm not going to look it up. In the latter type of case, the false innuendo created by the highly offensive presentation of a true fact constitutes the injury. Citing restatement, blah, blah, blah. In addition, for purposes of false light, publicity means the matter is made public by communicating it to the public at large or to so many persons that the matter must be regarded substantially certain to become one of public knowledge. The false light / invasion of privacy, they're not the same thing. These are not the same thing. Oh my God. Oh, this is just horrific. Absolutely horrific. Yes, half-ass fashion. It's very flagrant. Or fragrant if you're out in the horse barns. I'll bet her room is fragrant. Yeah, I'll bet it is too. That pile of clothes. Although, not to cast aspersions. I do have some piles of clothes, and they are just chucked full of dryer sheets. So they are clean clothes, and they do smell quite nice. I'm just lazy and haven't put them all away. And, sometimes I just don't quite have enough room for everything to be put away. So we leave them in the bin. It just happens. Kimbo. Elo is really dumb. Very dumb. She's not dumb. She's criminally dumb. As we're seeing with her 14 felony indictments. She did the dumb at least 14 times. Bruce says everything with Elo is a transaction. Yes. Who talked about that? Was that Jack Fox recently? Or somebody? Somebody was talking about the transactional activities of Laura Owens. And I heard that just this morning, and now I can't remember who it was. She's the ultimate used car salesman. This is your last chance to get rid of the fake twins. That's for sure. Elo never knows when to quit anything. Bro, Ashley is a legit hero in this case. Boy, is she. So many hero women. And we learned that last time in chat. Professional nightmare. Yes, indeed, Elaine Murray. And sure, Jan says, Batty. Sure, yeah, Jan may have participated. We could only imagine. Again, it's my belief, based on the evidence at hand and how we've seen Mother Owens involved in so much of this. It's my belief that she is the accomplice. Let's see. Okay, the false light invasion of privacy statements include, but are not limited to the following. : disseminating confidential medical information obtained indirectly from your partner Gregory Gillespie, which was given as part of the disclosures in connection with the case CV blah 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 blah. This was to be used for Mr. Gillespie in preparation for anticipated litigation, not by his partner in attempts to defame me to third parties. Well, if they're factual documents, it's not defamation, you dumb bitch. It's not false light either. You may not use my productive history against me as a source of gossip. I'm adding some things. In addition, as I'm sure you are aware, I have an order of protection against Mr. Gillespie. And if this behavior continues, he will be in violation of the harassment and stalking sections of his order, and will be reported to law enforcement. I have no doubt she called the police all the time on him too. And I like the following in bold. After I'm sure I would love to know. I wonder if anyone's tried FOIAing all of those things regarding Greg several years ago. See what the stack of papers with that might pile up to. And the best part, in bold, if you do not cease all related statements, if you don't express an opinion at all, a lawsuit will be commenced against you. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I could hit that button, but I won't. I've already done it. This shall serve as a pre-suit letter. A pre-suit letter. Why bother? Sue them or don't. Don't bother with pre-suit letters. This is just what's the word? I want to say dick waving, but that doesn't quite apply in this case. Tonsil waving? I don't know. Moon bump waving. That's what it is. This shall serve as a pre-suit letter demanding that you provide written assurance by September 23, 2023 that you will cease and desist from making further statements portraying Miss Owens. Why are we... Well, we're in the third person again all of a sudden. Miss Owens in a false light or that are defamatory in nature. Jesus. If you do not comply with the cease and desist letter by the aforementioned date, then a lawsuit may be filed in Maricopa County seeking monetary damages as well as pursuing all available legal remedies. Sincerely, Laura Owens, the succubus of Scottsdale. Oh, not ceasing or desisting. I love it. And last but not least, to Dave Neal. Dated October 19, 2023 at 5:31 p.m. It was evidently a Thursday. And it was sent to a number of people. Well, there's at least a couple people there. Dave. I feel like talking like HAL 9000, but I don't have that voice. Dave, even in your most recent video that you posted 15 minutes before sending this, you say that all signs point to the story being true, and that you aren't afraid of saying there's a reason why other lawyers have fired Jane Doe. There's a reason why others haven't wanted to work with her. Who besides Carrie Ramos, I think that's an I, Carrie Ramos, who withdrew after she filed a response to the wrong motion to dismiss, which had been ruled on the year prior, a situation you know nothing about, and who took the case on contingency, and who later realized it wasn't worth her time and efforts for basically no money in the end. I wonder why it was worth no money. Or Zach Muscatel, who withdrew before the attorney allowed him to even be admitted into the case due to his caseload before he never read a case document, has withdrawn from my cases. Wow, run-on sentences. Who hasn't wanted to work for me. Neither withdrew because they felt I wasn't telling the truth. And Kyle O'Dyer has been my attorney for more than a year in this case. Yeah, that didn't last long, did it? How many have we gone to? And then Corey Keith, who filed for a notice of candor that he had a lying bitch for a client. You then say I hired a Fiverr version of a lawyer. No, I hired the attorney off of Contracts Counsel because I was desperate for you to not repost your videos with false information. And you threatened to unless you received a cease and desist from an attorney. My attorney couldn't do it until the weekend at the earliest, and I wanted it done earlier. I'll bet she did. You have shared the Joe Cotchett story many times, oftentimes not including the fact that he backed me, not Greg Gillespie, who I know is your source. You are welcome to call Cotchett, Pittry, and McCarthy to ask that for yourself once you think I fraudulently have altered documents from an attorney. Well, as it turns out, I am attaching Joe's response for your convenience, where he even asked if I wanted help. I turned him down. Is that the response that was allegedly written in Laura's own hand because no one at Cotchett, Petrie, and McCarthy ever heard of her being a client? Is that the one? I think it might be. Oh, I turned him down. Oh, okay. Where he even asked if I wanted help. I turned him down. Yeah, you've got a high power attorney like that on your side and you turn him down. Bullshit. 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 Joe is 1,000,000% on my side. Is that right? 1, 2, 1, 10. Okay, 100,000% on my side. More value-added propositions. I love it. If you were such a great investigative reporter as you claim, you said you've been asked to produce a documentary on this. Well, it sounds like it's going to happen. You would have contacted Abigail and Claudia Schwartz, who I told you had been the victim of fraudulent activities by Greg. There's some pieces of that story I don't know. If anybody knows, I would love to know. You have no idea what he is capable of, which is fine. But I haven't deserved to have my character assassinated because you have chosen to be ignorant. Yikes. You have an incredible amount of receipts. You have an incredible amount of receipts regarding the lack of credibility that she's putting into this. An insult to those. Read the case documents. You have no idea what you're talking about. I got accepted into the DVBIP. That didn't work. Let me try that again. I got accepted into the Domestic Violence Brain Injury Program at Barrow Neurological Institute because I had brain injuries as a direct result of domestic violence. Prove it. I developed epilepsy as a result of repeated asphyxiation and dislocated my jaw because a man tried to stick his whole hand down my throat in an attempt to kill me. What? Oh, is this going back to the Mike Maricini nonsense that we fabricated? I think it is. Oh, it's pretty wild. She continues. How dare you act like I am a fraud? Well, you are, because guess what, bitch? You are being indicted on 14 felony fraud counts. Take them apples. Shove them where the sun don't shine. To act as if this is a passion project of yours because of your past, is laughable. The trauma I experienced in both of my relationships was witnessed. Yeah, sure. It was so witnessed you didn't even show up to your fucking trial in San Francisco, you lying bitch. And if you read through the Dropbox file, you would have seen that instead you're relying on hearsay statements from people with no credibility who have an axe to grind against me for very obvious reasons. Finally, you have said I took a large shit all over the system. She has and still continues to do so, especially with bankruptcy stuff currently, which clogs it up for the next person. And we are in the aspect of this scenario where the toilet is now getting clogged. I have never, in capital letters, misused the system. Well, that's turning out to be not true, you lying succubus. I am pregnant. That's been proven false, you lying bitch, as shown by the HCG test results that came back the other day and by my appointments that occurred with doctors this week who witnessed with their own eyes that I was pregnant. The doctors that we canceled every single one of our appointments to, evidently, who never once laid eyes on her in the flesh, and whose baby bump rather miraculously disappeared when we were at horse shows. Do you think that in prior generations I would have been thought of as crazy, unhinged, or a stalker because I asked the father of my unborn children for 2 weeks to see if we could make it work? Yes. 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 I don't think there's a man alive in current times or in previous times who wouldn't consider you crazy. The man would have been expected to step up and be there for the woman. Not necessarily. There's no legal requirement for him to do so. There is no, if you get someone pregnant, you must marry them and be in a relationship with them. You psychotic woman. You are absolutely a psychopath. The way that Clayton has acted is despicable for a 30-year-old man. Clearly, I have no interest in him at this point and have no motive for wanting to continue to have him involved in my life, except for the fact that I want to establish a parenting plan. I don't want him in my life, but I want him to be co-parenting with me. Oh my goodness. Okay, I need a breather. Batty says, it was only intended as a Brady Bunch quote, but then I figured out Jan might be involved too, so it works on 2 levels. Point, doesn't it, though? Kimbo says, poor attorney Jeffrey Swirsky. He is probably not figuring out what he's inherited. Well, you know, this is the joy of being a public defense. Sometimes you just draw the short straw and you try and make some lemonade out of the lemons, but there's not going to be any sugar enough for this case. Bruce says no one gives a fuck about Barrow. She show direct evidence or get the fuck out. Absolutely, Bruce. He also says Laura doesn't understand standards of evidence. No. Because if there was evidence, she would have been laughed out of a court if they could actually laugh at her. AKA the cat lady. Howdy there. I was going to say howdy doody. You're not duty. No, you are not, AKA the cat lady. Happy New Year's Eve to you. Yes, just dropping in to quickly say HNY to everybody. Greetings and salutations. You guys are all amazing badasses. I'm so grateful to be part of this. Well, namaste. We are humbled and honored by your participation as well, as I am with all the people who wander through here from time to time. You know, it's just so lovely. It's just so lovely having all these people, and you know, where we're not tripping over each other to get the next scoop. Things come and go. We all have different points of view, and it's just so spectacular, the support of so many people, and certainly the financial generosity, because that's what it's taken to get this far, is just an enormous amount of support by strangers to these men who have been abused by this bitch. It really does seem unprecedented. I know there's other cases lingering out there, but the scope of them seem to pale in comparison to Laura Owens. You know, a spoiled bitch of a rich kid who really isn't that rich, maybe upper middle class at best. And, you know, grifting on the good name of daddy, who himself wasn't a huge name, but he made an okay living. And Everyone is just sucking off of everyone else in the Owens family. It's just amazing. It's, a main character syndrome that seems to be genetic in so many ways. Oh, let's see. The way Clayton... Okay, looking at the last paragraph. Clearly I have no interest. Accepted, yes. Want to establish... Okay, we're in the next paragraph. All right. Second from the bottom. You were on emails where I offered Clayton the opportunity to come to a sonogram this week that he didn't respond to. I wouldn't do that if I wasn't pregnant, nor would I be testing pregnant. Testing pregnant. Testing pregnant. Testing pregnant. Is that like the little thing in the turkeys that goes, poof, you're pregnant? It pops up when it's done. Is that what testing pregnant is? Usually before pregnancy is declared, you're visiting a doctor a number of times, which she's never done. We've talked about this ad nauseum. Ad nauseum. Yeah, again, we're just looking back in the rearview mirror over the stupid stuff she's done. And the stupid shit she has shared, and the stupid shit she was stupid enough to type up and circulate. My detractors have done similar things. If there's ever a point or ever a chance where I can actually talk about my detractors more directly on this channel, I will do so. But not until it's clear whether or not it's worth litigating them or giving them more rope. So that's the case. My own case is fascinating unto itself. But again, I would have to get super comfortable with wanting to reveal a lot more about my private life, which at this point, I'm not quite there yet. Not quite there yet. But if anything big were to become public, there'd be no point in hiding it. So then, in which case I would be more transparent about it. But yeah, that's some of my familiarity with some legal concepts, is stuff going on in the here and now from time to time. You were on the emails where I offered Clayton the opportunity to come to a sonogram this week that he didn't respond to. I wouldn't do that if I wasn't pregnant, nor would I be testing pregnant with levels exactly where they should be at this point in a twin pregnancy if I weren't pregnant. I gave up horseback riding nearly a month ago, despite the fact that my horses live at my house. I also purchased other property last month after Clayton screwed me over in our real estate dealings and was found in huge violation. I added huge. Violation by the ADRE. Well, no, he wasn't, but they did have a conversation with him. I'll bet he was vindicated after his case got resolved by Judge Mata. I'll bet some things happened there. Again, I'm not reading tea leaves there. Just a hunch that he may have been cleared of some stuff. His actions made me lose my business partner called Mommy Dearest, who had committed to $110,000 to cover the down payments. It's funny how we don't mention Mommy Dearest as the business partner, although we know she was, because it's Liz Max. And Mommy Dearest, Jan Black, a.k.a. Elizabeth Ann Naylor Owens, is the business partner. Again, I think this is more evidence of Mommy Dearest being the co-conspirator. My business partner who committed $110,000 to cover the down payments. On what credit, I wonder, or what run out of financial scheme, we wonder. Yeah. Ask Clayton to see the proof of funds if you question this. Remember, she also solicited Clayton, claiming there's $400,000 in a money market account, which also appeared to be fraudulent, in my opinion. And I think it goes beyond the opinion of people like Big Tiff Dog who've talked about that. Because him not putting the offers in put a bad taste in his mouth. Oh, but that's not the only bad taste he had in his mouth. But, well, we make choices. I bring this up only because I've been accused of targeting Clayton with no interest in real estate, which clearly was not the case. Well, it clearly was the case because we stopped paying on the Airbnb house and now we forfeited it and we can't get it back. Please delete anything and everything that you have posted that has referenced me because I'm trying to commit crimes under the cover of darkness and I don't like people exposing that, in the opinion of me, myself, and I. I'm stunned that you have covered this as if you were there the night that everything happened with Clayton. You were not a fly on the wall and a witness to the sexual activity that occurred, and Clayton was extremely high that night and probably not legally able to render consent, would be my estimation. But again, I don't practice in any form of legal practice. But if you're impaired, it's pretty difficult to legally render consent. So there's that little thing. But that's just my opinion. You haven't been part of the last 5 months of pure hell for me, dealing with this on my own. You don't want everyone's mental health. You don't want everyone's mental health to be safe, nor do you care whether or not I'm okay. I know this because you're talking about how you are going to continue to cover this extensively on Patreon, and I also fail to see how that's ceasing and desisting. I'm sure you will view this as snobby by my mom, but my mom won a Peabody, and my dad is in the National Radio Hall of Fame and won multiple Marconi Awards for Major Market Personality of the Year. So I grew up knowing what it meant to cover a story fairly. No, I'll bet you don't. I'll bet you don't. Your coverage is not true investigative journalism, despite what you think. Again, calls for a legal conclusion. You have tried to cast doubt on me every step of the way, criticizing everything you've been provided. Oh, I get it now. God, the way she writes. You tried to cast doubt on me every step of the way, criticizing everything you've been provided, despite not knowing the background and having given Clayton the benefit of the doubt in every scenario. It's been incredibly hurtful and frustrating, and I will pursue every legal avenue possible if the Clayton paternity scandal videos, including your most recent one from today, are not deleted. All the best, all the best, all the best, all the very, very best, all the best, all the best, all the very, very best, Megan Fox. Laura Owens. Alrighty, everybody. So there you have it. There you have the cease and desist letters as memorialized by our friends at the Justice for Clayton official Instagram on Instagram. And if you don't get their daily notifications and you want them, just hop onto your Instagram profile and sign up for them. So you can stay in the loop like most of the rest of us. We get a lot through the Twitters and through the Instagrams and through the Reddits. So after that, you're just drowning in information. So there you have it, everybody. Just a little tour through the Wayback Machine. Oh, let's see. How you doing, chat? How are we? How are we? Let's see. Where did I leave off in the chat? I wish I could put like a little bookmark in it. Just Call Me Marita says, as we end this year, I think we can all be thankful that Laura Owens never had a child of her own. Praise God for that. Nothing good could have come out of that other than perpetuating cycles of abuse, as I think have been heaped onto Laura in some fashion. Abuse cycles can be, not just physical ailments. It can be multiple things. It can even be patterns of behavior, bad patterns of behavior instilled on you by your ineffectual and horrific parents. And Bruce also says, 10 years of chaos, 0 actual babies. Accurate. Bruce also says, Ron failed to cultivate generation wealth. He failed to rein in Laura, and he failed to help Mike. He failed to prevent bankruptcy. #sads. Well, I'll add the hashtag. That's just me. Karaki, I just made back from NYE dinner. Ah, hey, Carol. Welcome to the NYE. Well, we're at the end of it now. Special. I hope you had a great dinner. I hope you're having a great New Year's. I'm running out of tongue. My tongue is falling asleep. Hope you're having a great New Year's Eve. Yes, we're live, but only for a brief moment. I think we're at the tail end of this one because I don't have the bandwidth tonight for going into the last justiceforlaura.com. That needs this because there's nothing about getting justice for Laura there. You can't have justice when you're the one committing the crimes, allegedly. Yeah, well, it's more than alleged in my opinion. Hey man, if things get crazy, we here. Yes, we are. We are here indeed. for a wee bit longer. 2026 is going to be a great year for all. Sorry, but not you, Laura. Ah, the bells of hell go ting-a-ling-a-ling for you, but not for me. There's a song. Oh my God. I might have to look that one up. I may have to include that into my channel soundtrack. We've spent too long trying to figure out this vile bitch. Amen to that, Elaine Murray. Thank you so much. Jen the Couch Fairy, Bruce, it's harder than most think to cultivate generational wealth. It's harder, I think, now than it used to be. After great success, people want to spare kids from struggles they had, not realizing they are stunting their potential. There's that too. No, thank you. MK says 100. Thank you so much. Carol also says Laura's insane. She has no idea what the fuck she's doing or talking about. It looks like Laura and her mom forfeited the Airbnb. Yes. Yes, they did. It's official. The ink has dried. There is no longer a Liz Max Airbnb house. It's a done deal. At least as far as I've read everything correctly. So that's the only caveat I'll give it. Jen the Couch Fairy. Of course, a gambling habit does not help to build wealth. And there are people, Jen, who have, closer to Ron, who have said that the gambling thing wasn't quite as prolific as some have tried to make it out to be. I'm not sure which is true. I mean, my personal opinion about Ron Owens' ascendancy to famedom and glory and wealth is not as high as people build it up. Actually, I think it might have been a media stunt to give that appearance to inflate the value of KGO before it transferred ownership. That's my opinion. Do I have evidence of that? Perhaps circumstantially. But I suspect that Ron was overvalued for the sake of overvaluating, is that the word? The radio stations, so that, who was it? Was it Sirius? I forget all the radio details. I'm less interested in the ins and outs of the radio side of the Owens family, to be blunt. But I think there were some stunts there trying to inflate Ron's importance, to inflate his value, and inflate what he actually made. Which is why, according to Big Tiff Dog, the Owens family, that being Ron and Jan, have been digging a financial hole for more than 30 years. If they had all this money, and it didn't just entirely evaporate every year, the entirety of it, or much of it, on a gambling addiction, and it's possible. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible that a gambling addiction wasn't involved and didn't have parts to play in here. I just don't think they're quite as big as some think. It's like, well, okay, Ron was making $1 million something a year. Where did all the money go? And the easy answer, and some like to use Occam's razor, that the simplest answer is the most probable. Okay, it was all gambled away. I'm not sure if that's the easy answer. I think the easier answer is that he was never making that money to begin with. I'm not so sure. To have gone into the financial debt, because we don't know. I mean, unless Ron was gambling everything all the time, there's no reason to account for all the debt they've accumulated. It's far more probable, and I think, and I'm not speaking for Tiff, but I think Tiff would agree that it's far more probable they have just managed their money poorly from the beginning. He made what he made. It wasn't nearly as much as they claim. Just like Jan Black doesn't have Peabody Awards that we can find. The station she worked for got awards, but it's not like Jan has an individual customized naming Jan Black as Peabody Award winner of the year. We have found no evidence of that. In fact, I found evidence of the contrary. So there is that. Oh, let's see. Elaine, sorry, hand slipped. I'm mad at this bitch. Yes, you are perfectly entitled to be mad at this bitch. The succubus of Scottsdale. Caitlin Fletcher. Oh, gosh, if I can read the font here. Caitlin Fletcher, 2187. Echoes, you have such a melodic voice. Love listening to your streams. Oh, thank you for that. It's melodic with what little vocal stylings I have left in my bones after getting old and being put on old people medication. But that's what happens when you get old. Oops, I hit that one already. Robin, 9597. I'm afraid Laura will cause trouble with the attorney the trustee hired, as she didn't consent to them. Laura is trouble with everybody. And it's just that simple. Batty McBatface says, professional manipulator, that's what she is. If she could monetize that in some fashion, she might have a job. Batty also says, I'm already in 2026. Happy New Year! Woo! and it's okay so far. Yay. And Kara says, oh, to Robin, oh, heck yeah, she's going to start writing unhinged motions and responses. Incoming another shit show. And we are here for all of the flying shit from Laura Owens and all of her family, aren't we? Oh, my goodness gracious. So there we go. Happy New Year to everybody. I think we'll call it at that. Thank you so much again for joining me. Hit that like and subscribe. Feed the algorithm. Do all those things. Extend your solicitations. That's the word. We'll just go with it. I'm not sure what I was going to go with there. So the solicitations and gratifications. I don't know. But Happy New Year's to you all. Have a safe and lovely evening. Do get some sleep, even if you have the day off tomorrow. I have to go to work on Friday. So no rest for the wicked. We've got things to do. And at some point, I think I may or may not finish off the last of the Justice for Laura. The Justice for Laura articles, because there's only a few left. So maybe I'll just wrap that up and call it done. And there we go. So thank you all again for joining me. Have a great rest of your evening. Enjoy your day tomorrow and all the things. Blessed wishes and best wishes for you in the new year, and prosperity and all the good things. And we'll see you more next time. So thank you all again for joining me, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much, everybody. Good night.